Welcome back to another episode of the Dunwoody Dialogues. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody, and I am Mark Galvin, your host. We love to talk to important people here on the Dunwoody Dialogues, always looking for someone that will help experience or has experienced something that can share new content with you, learning something new about Dunwoody, maybe something about the region or beyond. Check out our past interviews. Just page down here. I know that we've set up our own podcast channel right here on YouTube. We have so many great people that we have talked to in the past. Don't miss them. Go check those out. So today we have a great guest. This is a guest that every single Dunwoody High School student is going to want to know about, because our guest today can help get them away, have them go overseas. Our guest today can help high school students go on a foreign travel for months. And I know when I was a teenager, I was always looking for a way that I could get away from my parents. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you tune in, because our guest today is the Rotary Youth Exchange leader with the Rotary Club of Dunwoody. Please help me welcome Rick Woods. Rick, welcome.
Thank you, Mark. It's good to be here.
I am so glad you're here. So I do have to tell all of you, I kind of know this guy. I'm a member of Rotary Club. And as a matter of fact, my wife and I were driving by a restaurant somewhat recently here in Dunwoody and saw Rick and his wife sitting there and having dinner. Well, we decided to go to their two-top, make it a four-top, and had dinner together, which was great fun.
It was
wonderful spending time with you and your wife. The reason we asked Rick to come on today is because of the Rotary Youth Exchange, but we're going to get into that. I'd like to talk a little bit about you. I popped onto your LinkedIn profile, and you are officially, I'm going to read this title, Gentleman of Leisure.
Right.
So I have a feeling that you're really not working 9 to 5.
That was a well-deserved title, let me tell you. I spent 35 years doing software development, and when my time came, I was more than ready to jump off the boat.
Good for you.
And when I did, I needed a title because LinkedIn makes you have one.
Well, you could abbreviate that to the GOL. That sounds very impressive.
Well, I came from a world of acronyms, so I don't need to take one with me.
Okay. Well, something you said before we started taping today is you used to be in this building.
I did. Can I say the name of the company?
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah. So I retired from a company called CSG.
Are they still around?
Yeah, oh yes,
okay.
Indeed they are. It's a Denver-based company.
Okay.
Global, do business all around the world. If there's a telecommunications company or an ISP or anybody having anything to do with the internet, pretty much, CSG is a player.
Wow.
Big company.
Great. Well, we appreciate that you guys moved out because you gave us our space here. You made room for us.
Well, you're welcome.
So besides your career in technology, you retired. Well, I don't know when you retired, but I know you've been a member of Rotary since 2012.
Right.
So you've been involved in Rotary for quite a while, and at Rotary Club of Dunwoody. Before we get into the Rotary Youth Exchange, explain from your perspective, what does the local Rotary do, and more importantly, what roles have you held at Rotary?
Okay. In my career, I traveled internationally a lot. So I was never able to commit to any particular thing because I didn't know if I was going to be around that frequently or not.
Okay.
So I reached a point in my career where the travel slowed down, and it's just a similar story. I'd been lucky all my life, so it was my turn to give back. So that sounds like it would be an easy thing to do, but it really isn't. I mean, when you want to give your time and your money and your services, how do you do it? What do you do? So I started looking around, and I'd look into this and I'd look into that, and I'd go, well, that's great, but I don't want to do that all the time, and that's great, and I don't want to do that all the time. And so I was introduced to Rotary. And the Rotary Club of Dunwoody is a very active club that does so much good work in so many different ways that I went, this is for me. I can do anything I want to do here.
one of the things that Rotary combats is that it's seen as an older organization. It is in my opinion, a great place for businesses to get involved, and especially the ones that are local, not traveling constantly. But like I know, as a matter of fact, today, I had someone who we're connected to here at Discover Dunwoody contact me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody who can do X." That person happened to be a fellow Rotarian. So you can grow business, but in Rotary world, we really focus on service first. However, at our Rotary, you can connect, serve, and grow. And we love that because connect means you can connect whether it's in your community or other businesses. You can serve by serving the community, and there's so many things that we do, and I'd love to ask you some of those things in a moment. But we also allow you to grow your connections, grow your business, grow your knowledge, even the building side of becoming an officer in Rotary allows you to add that to your resume. So it's really interesting. And I think, yes, we do a lot of service, but there's so many other great things. I love serving because it's fun, right? Another member at Rotary loves to say that. His favorite thing to do is serve because it's so much fun.
Right.
What are some of the things can you, off the top of your head, do you remember what Rotary does to help the community?
Oh my goodness, we do so much.
Yeah.
Where do I start? My favorite thing to do in Rotary is to volunteer for Special Olympics. It's just a very heartwarming, immediate gratification. You can see the impact that you have on those kids. So that's fun.
And what do you do what do we do at that event? How do you serve at that event?
Generally what we do is we volunteer to support, how do I characterize this? Every school in DeKalb County, Fulton County, that sort of thing, has a special ed program, special needs program. And those kids get together regularly, and they'll have basketball tournaments. They'll have track meets. We even did an equestrian thing where they rode horse, and we volunteer and we help them do that. And
so you're there to help, get them on and off the horses, or get the basketball into the game,
baskets and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it not only helps the kids, but it helps the teachers and the handlers and the parents.
Sure,
because they get a break and they get to see their kids interact with other people and all this kind of stuff. So it's a big deal. Special Olympics.
That's great. So what else do we do?
We do the most recent program, I think, is a very important one. Is we have an annual golf tournament to raise money. The largest recipient of that money is the Georgia Alzheimer's Association.
Sure.
And the golf tournament has just finished its third year. The Alzheimer's Association was the biggest beneficiary for the first 2 years. I'm sorry, for the first 3 years.
Right.
We've now partnered with an offshoot of that, sort of, in that we have done a lot of volunteering and funding of the Respite Care Center in Dunwoody. And this is for providing a place where mild to medium Alzheimer's and mentally deficient people can come and spend a morning, an afternoon, or an entire day with a goal of giving their caretakers a break.
Such a big deal.
That's a big deal.
And I can imagine this because I have an elderly mother-in-law, and she's in assisted living, but if she was living at home with us, I love my mother-in-law, but she would drive me crazy if I was with her all the time. So to know that I could go someplace, drop her off that's safe, right? That also has things for her to do, and allow me to go to Costco or whatever. Or maybe go to Brook Run and read a book.
Or take a nap.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest statistics, and I might get this wrong when I quote the statistic, but the caretakers suffer more than the patients.
Wow.
After a period of time, the stress on the caretaker is starting to degrade their life.
Yeah.
And so having these moments of relaxation or off time is an important thing. So we do that as well. We do other things in schools. We do a thing called character counts, where we go to Dunwoody Elementary School and we have a word every month, courage and persistence and all these type of things. And we talk to the fourth graders about it. So we get to interact with the fourth graders, and we just talk about that word, and that has been amazing.
That's great.
And we do a lot of work with Title I schools and providing food at Thanksgiving and backpacks at the beginning of the year.
Sure.
And all that kind of stuff. So
one of my favorites is the essay contest.
Laws of Life, absolutely. It's another thing that we do with the schools where that's a scholarship program where during the year we gather money, and then we have a contest of all the high schools in Georgia. And anybody can participate, and a student writes an essay about something that they have learned through this normal experience.
Sharing the laws of life.
That is what they think is the law of life.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you a funny story. The first time I got involved with this was every year the people who run the Laws of Life program seek out volunteers to read the essays.
Yep.
And we go through them. And the volunteers will pick what they think are the best three, and then they'll all go back to a committee, and the committee makes the final decisions and all this kind of stuff. So I volunteered one year. On a Friday afternoon, I was handed 15 essays.
Okay.
And I took them home, and as is my habit, I put them off to the last minute. So on Sunday afternoon...
Because you are the gentleman of leisure.
On Sunday afternoon, I told my wife to leave me alone for a little while. I'm going to go read these essays. Well, about an hour later, she came in, and I was just crying. Tears, everything. It was an experience.
Yep.
So
I got to tell a story about this. So these essays are so heartfelt and true stories, and I've only experienced them. I have not read them, but we've had students who have come to our club and read them. And the first year this happened, I'm in the back of the room, and I'm typically doing something with marketing and social media. I'm taking pictures. And the first student started reading their essay, and I sat down and was immersed in this essay,
right,
and was crying because the stories are so poignant. Absolutely beautiful.
They are.
Teaches these students how to express something that's really important to them in writing, which is such an important skill to have, and gives them recognition for the great things they can do. I think it's wonderful.
It is a wonderful program. And an offshoot of Rotary is participating in something like that because you get exposed to things that you don't know goes on. You would never ever encounter it in my life. I wouldn't.
Sure.
And that's the general rule at Rotary. You just get exposed to so many different things that you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And another good thing about Rotary is we meet once a week, actually 3 weeks out of every month, and we have speakers. And we get some of the most interesting speakers coming to talk to us.
We do.
And so we get
at the end of
exposed to
September,
everything.
as an example, we have Chris Carr, the Attorney General of Georgia, that's coming.
Right.
We had a local guy. As a matter of fact, he was here on the show, Keith Pepper, who runs Rough Draft Atlanta. He came and spoke to us.
Right.
We have unbelievable speakers, but we also get to engage with each other every single week, which is terrific.
And I can talk about Rotary forever.
Yeah, we do have to get to Rotary Youth Exchange here in a minute. I'm looking at the clock.
But it's a big club, so we have 70 members thereabout, and from every walk of life.
Right.
And so we don't we're not the same at all.
Right.
We have diverse personalities all over the place, but we're all there because we want to serve, and that is our motto: service above self.
Mm-hmm. So terrific. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about Rotary Youth Exchange. What is that program?
Okay, so Rotary Youth Exchange is a global program, and it is what we call it. It's a global student exchange. We take people from the United States and we move high school students from the United States, and we send them to different countries where they enroll in high school for one high school year.
Wow.
And then we bring people from other countries into the United States.
So is this junior, senior, sophomore, or whatever?
You apply when you're between 14 and 17.
Okay.
Which means you will leave when you're 15 to 18.
Got it.
Right? So we've had freshmen go, we've had sophomores go, juniors go,
Wow.
and occasionally we'll have a senior go.
Okay. But seniors, you say occasionally. It sounds like it's more sophomores and juniors generally.
I don't know why the distribution is what it is, but
Okay.
normally it's a sophomore, a junior.
Okay.
I think for a maturity level, that sort of thing. And then senior, I don't know why this is, but seniors probably have college on their mind and things like that. So it's that 15, 16-year-old people that normally go.
Got it. Okay.
So there's two aspects to Rotary Youth Exchange. There's the inbound program and there's the outbound program. The school year just started. We're about 2 or 3 weeks into it. So we had 6 outbound students this year.
Wow.
4 of them have
from
already
our
gone.
club.
Not from our club, but from our district.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Our club focuses only on Dunwoody High School. So 4 of them have already gone, landed in place in their countries, and we have 2 that are going to leave at the end of August, early September.
Okay.
We have just received our inbound students, and this year we have a young man from South Korea who is now attending Dunwoody High School. Mm-hmm. So here's the kicker about all this. This is what we call a total immersion program. The goal is to do a cross-cultural exchange. So our students that go out go to, let's say, Spain. When they land at the airport in Madrid or Barcelona or wherever they land, they're not Americans anymore. They're locals. Mm-hmm. And they live with 3 local families.
Well,
3 months at a time.
so they got to speak Spanish, right?
Well, you got to learn to speak Spanish.
So we're not picking a family for them to go to that speaks their native language. Speaks our language, I should say. It's going to be the native language there.
We discourage. We don't prevent, but we discourage speaking English, acting like an America, calling home. We don't want you to do any of that. We want you to experience the culture
when in Rome.
as it is. When in Rome, do the Roman thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And it's a fabulous program.
Yeah.
It is a life-changing program in every way you look at it.
So I'm going to go back here. I just thought of something. So you said there's 3 families. Do they rotate through those families, and if so, how?
They do. So the important thing to learn is this is a Rotary program. So it's supported by Rotary International. Everything is volunteered. All right. So at your destination, the high school that you go through has been vetted by the local Rotary Club. The families that you live with have been vetted by the local Rotary Club. Everything is Rotary sponsored, done. Okay, so it's very safe, very effective. I lost my train of thought.
We're looking for 3 families.
And we do have 3 families that you live with. So 3 months at a time, or not exactly 3 months, but 1/3 of a school year.
Got it.
You know, that's how long you live there. But over time, the host families get to know each other.
Yeah, so why not one family? Why don't you just do one family the whole time?
Do you know one family that represents all of America?
Oh, me. I'm perfectly.
Probably
I
not.
represent all cultures, right?
We try to expose them as much as we can to American culture.
Okay,
and we
that makes
expect
good
that
sense.
on the other side as well.
Good.
We don't have a model for a host family other than the fact that they're kind, giving, that sort of thing. The number one thing that we look for in a host family is accept this child as one of your own.
Got it. All right. And there's background checks, and the Rotary makes sure that
it is. When you apply to be a host family, you do background checks. You get vetted by the State Department. You go through training, this sort of thing. So it's a big deal.
All right. I'm looking at time.
Yep.
I got to ask you something important. I would want to know if I'm a parent interested in this. What's it cost?
To be the
family,
the family. To apply to be an outbound student, the application is $150. So when you submit the application, it's $150.
All right.
Then after that, you have to pay the airfare to get from Atlanta to wherever they're going.
Okay.
And then Rotary International has put together this fabulous health insurance plan that has a cost, and you pay that. Other than that, you're done.
Oh, wow.
It's, there are a lot of exchange programs in the world.
Wow.
Rotary Exchange is 10,000 students plus every year.
10,000 students are doing this all over the world.
All over the world every year.
Wow.
And so now that doesn't mean they're all coming to the United States. It's
Sure.
country to country. So Japanese kids can go to Brazil, you know, and that sort of thing. But
Okay.
10,000 of them every year.
And Rotary is paying the lion's share of that. If I just have to if I had a child that was of the age, I just got to get him to the new country, and then from there, the costs are covered.
We advertise it as a $25,000 scholarship.
Wow.
Now, that's a $25,000 in-kind scholarship. 'Cause
Sure.
most everything is volunteered.
Yeah,
Right?
I can
so
see that.
room and board and tuition and travel and all those type of things, local travel when you're in the country,
Uh-huh.
all that is paid for by
Oh.
Rotary volunteers.
Unbelievable. This is so awesome. All right.
Now, one thing that you should ask me at this point in time is
Yes. I was like, which question is that? Because I'm looking at time. We don't
Rick,
have
is it
time.
really that good? And,
Yeah.
and the answer is yes. That this is a life-changing thing. Then the second question should be, well, why isn't everybody doing it?
I don't need to be here anymore. He's going
Right.
to interview himself from now on. Yes.
Now, that's a hard question to answer
Yeah,
in the
okay.
fact that we're dealing with high school kids.
Right.
And this is not a check-the-box type problem. This is, families have to consider this for a long time. For a year, mother and father are going to give up their child. And we're going to either encourage them not to or discourage them from communicating with that child.
Right.
We want that child to become a Brazilian or Japanese or a Swede or whatever. Wherever they are, we want them to become totally immersed. And we have a curve that we teach the children during their training period, in that this is what your emotions are going to look like during your year. And in the beginning, it's an up curve because they're so excited and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, the newness of it, and everybody's happy to see you.
Exactly.
It's
And
going to
then,
be good.
and then it peaks
Right.
about your second week in high school when you realize, I don't understand a thing this teacher's telling me. I don't have a clue what we're going to eat tonight.
Right.
Because I don't even know what we ate last night. You know, all these, everything is new, everything is hard, everything is difficult. So that upswing becomes a downswing.
Sure.
Now, at the bottom, that's the day that you did that algebra test and you got an A on it and you understood everything that the teacher told you.
Wow. Yeah.
Or that you took that field trip and you were able to understand everything in the museum in the native language. That's when it becomes an upswing again.
Sure. I can imagine.
And then the last period of transition is when the year is over with. You're about ready to come back.
You don't want to leave.
You don't want to go. You don't want
Yeah.
to come back. So it's an interesting period. So why doesn't everybody do it? Because that's a life-changing thing. It
not
is
scary.
a hard decision to
Yeah,
make,
I would be afraid to do that.
both for the kids and
Yeah.
for the families. So, but it's fun. It is fun.
That is so terrific. There are opportunities right now
There
for,
are.
for people, for students to apply. So if you're interested, where can they go?
Okay, we call this thing Rotary Youth Exchange, RYE, and the Rotary clubs in Georgia are part of a coalition with the Rotary clubs in Florida. So we call it Rotary Youth Exchange Southeast.
Okay.
So it's ryese.org. This website is full of information. And if you have a question, it's answered on that. And then once you either apply to be a student or apply to be a host family, then we will be in close contact with you, we being members of the Rotary Club of Dunwoody.
This is great. So what a great opportunity to get, and as a parent, and I have 3 kids, I wish I had known about this. I have 3 kids that love to go to travel, and they would have thoroughly enjoyed this. And to know all I got to do is get them there. That cost is minimal, and then they get to go through such a terrific experience. And I've met the exchange students that have come inbound and have gone to high school at Dunwoody. These young people are walking on air at the end of the year. They are so elated that they spent their time here, that you can tell it's a life-changing program.
When Bobby or Susie leaves the country and Bobby and Susie come back, it's a different Bobby and Susie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're-
So much more mature.
Their mature level has increased so much. Now they've given up some stuff, right? They've
Oh, yeah,
left
they
their
have.
high school for a year.
Right.
But when they do that college resume, oh
my.
that stands out.
It's huge.
You're bilingual now. You've lived in a foreign country for a year, and you've experienced so much. And it's your essays for college entrance applications
They
are
write
really,
themselves.
really good.
Yeah, they write themselves. So what's it like as an American going overseas? Have you heard about this? I mean, what kind of reception do Americans get?
Well, generally, it is a fantastic experience. All right, but it differs depending on the country you go to and this sort of thing.
Sure.
But one thing is true. I know this for a fact: is when an American high school student goes to a foreign country and enters high school, that day they become a celebrity.
Everybody knows
wants
who they
to
are.
know them.
Wow.
Everybody wants to talk to them. Everybody's got questions. Now, that doesn't mean at the end of the year you're going to be everybody's best friend. It just means that you immediately become a focal point in that place that you're at.
That's awesome.
And learning to deal with that alone is a life experience.
So we have the opportunity for the student, of course, but we also have opportunities for parents.
Right.
So there are families that we need here in Dunwoody right now to be a host family for students incoming.
Right. So we look for host families all the time. The decision to send your child overseas is a big decision.
Right.
But your decision to accept a child in your home is a big decision as well.
Sure.
That's
only 3 months.
You just
Goes
can't
like that.
meet a guy in a bar and say, hey, you want to be a host family? It doesn't work that way.
Well, I hope you're not meeting people in bar asking that,
But
especially the bars that you go to.
you have to go talk to these people and vet them and make sure that they understand what they're doing and
Sure.
they understand that this is going to be a completely different person than you're used to.
Right.
So your heart's got to be open to accept this person. So finding the right families is it's not tough. It's just an exercise that we have to go through and make sure that we do it correctly.
And they have to be at Dunwoody High School.
Right.
Area.
Rotary Club of Dunwoody works with Dunwoody High School only.
Right.
So our host families have to be in the Dunwoody High School serving area.
But if you're not in the Dunwoody area, if you go to the website, what was that website again?
RYESE.
You can still say, I'd like to be a host family, and there may
we'll
be
find
a
a Rotary
Rotary
Club for you.
There may be a Rotary Club in your area where you can do this.
Right.
All right, Rick, we talked about a lot. This is fantastic.
It's been fantastic.
I really appreciate you coming in to talk about this. We hope that you're watching this 3 years from now. This is still content that's great 3 years from now because there's always going to be a Rotary in Dunwoody. We're always going to be looking for students that want to travel abroad, and we're always going to be looking for families that can host students here in Dunwoody. So go to that website, check it out. You might even get Rick to come buy you a drink.
Or I'll come to your house and visit you.
Well, I love this. Thanks for being here. I appreciate
Thank you so much. This has been fun.
And thank all of you for watching. Once again, I am Mark Galvin, and this show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. Our producer is Madison Holtz. Our sound technician is Emily Inser Gibson. Remember, we're always telling you this, but if I can find it over here, I'm going to knock something off. Here we go. We're always wanting you to have a Dunwoody sticker on the back of your car. These are removable. They are great for the weather, all kinds of weather. As a matter of fact, I have one of these on my favorite Yeti, and I wash it all the time, and it sticks great, but they are removable. So grab one of these at City Hall, here at our office. You can go see Billy Kramer at NFA Burger. You can go to Art Coffee House on the opposite side of the city. Wherever, we're putting these out all over the place. Go grab one. They are free. If you want, just go to our website. You can ask for us, ask for one on the website, and we'll make sure you get one. Thanks again for watching. You can follow us on all of our social media. Super easy to find. Our handle is Discover Dunwoody, or go check out our website, discoverdunwoody.com. You can find great things to do this weekend. Lots of features on there. We have about 8-9 different events that are always popping up on the website. So go check that out. Rick, thanks again for being here. It's always good to see you. And to all of you, thanks for watching. And now go out and discover Dunwoody.